Captain Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso. How it started. Captain Ibrahim Traoré rose to power in Burkina Faso after a coup in September 2022. This event marked the second coup within a year, following the earlier ousting of Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henri Sandaogo Damiba in January 2022. Damiba himself had come to power through a coup, overthrowing President Roch Marc Christian Kabore due to his administration's inability to curb the escalating jihadist insurgency. The ousting of the former president Roch Marc Christian Kabore, elected in 2015 and re-elected in 2020, faced growing criticism as jihadist violence surged in Burkina Faso. His government's failure to address the security crisis, which involved extremist groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS, led to widespread unrest and displacement. This mounting frustration within the military culminated in Kabore's removal from power. The African Union's response. The African Union, AU, and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, quickly condemned the coup, calling for the restoration of constitutional order. Both organizations imposed sanctions on the junta, including suspension from regional activities, and have since engaged in diplomatic efforts to mediate the crisis, advocating for a swift return to civilian rule. For returning to civilian rule. In August 2023, Niger experienced its own military coup when President Mohamed Bazoum was ousted by his presidential guard, led by General Abdurrahman Chiani. Nigeria, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was also the ECOWAS chairman, responded by cutting off electricity supplies to Niger. This was part of a broader set of sanctions imposed by ECOWAS to pressure the junta into restoring Bazoum to power. The junta's seizure of power in Niger sparked widespread protests both in support of and against the coup. Supporters of the junta viewed the ECOWAS sanctions, including Nigeria's power cut, as unjustified foreign interference. In response, there were mass demonstrations in Niamey where protesters waved Russian flags and demanded the withdrawal of foreign troops, particularly French forces. The junta also expelled several foreign diplomats, including the French ambassador, further straining relations with the international community. ECOWAS could have severe implications for regional security, particularly in terms of intelligence sharing and coordination in the fight against jihadist groups. ECOWAS has proposed the creation of a regional force to combat terrorism, but funding and political will remain significant obstacles. The emergence of military juntas in West Africa has fundamentally altered the region's political landscape, challenging democratic governance and regional stability. The responses of the African Union, ECOWAS, and individual countries like Nigeria highlight the complex interplay between domestic discontent, regional instability, and international diplomacy. As these juntas continue to resist pressure to restore civilian rule, the future of West Africa remains uncertain, with significant challenges ahead in restoring peace, security, and democracy.